Right. Here goes, here goes, here goes. This is like the 4th time I'm recording this. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess. I'm also known as the Fat Funny One. And if you are new to my channel or haven't followed me on social media or don't know who the heck I am and just happened to come across this video, then you won't know that I have just had a baby. Yes, I've had a tiny little baby, baby JJ. He is 3 weeks old and I had a cesarean section. Now, I've already got 2 other older daughters, so this was my 3rd cesarean section, hence the video. And I wanted to talk about recovery. It's one of the highly requested videos, or loads of questions I got around recovery. And so I wanted to talk about things that I'd done in the past that I wish I hadn't done, and things that I wish I had done, and things that I've learned this time round. This has by far been my best recovery out of all of them. Now, I'm still recovering. It's only been 3 weeks, but I'm in such a better position than I was such a better position than I was after the other 2, and I wanted to kind of share the tips of what I've done, what I haven't done, etc. One of the first things I will say is that I am obviously not a medical professional. I am not a doctor, nurse, nothing like that. This is just me talking from my own personal experience. Now, if you have got any questions around your medical care, please go to your medical provider. It's literally just me sharing hints and tips of things that I've done and haven't done that have really helped me recovering after a cesarean. So here goes. So I've had 3 cesarean sections. So my very first was an elective, which means I chose to have one, and there were reasons behind that. And then the second was an unplanned section, kind of an emergency. I was actually unfortunately very ill and they had to deliver the baby quite quickly. So very different scenario. And then this time round I opted for an elective at the very last minute, just due to the fact that we're having a pandemic at the moment, and I was very anxious and there was a lot around it, and I was given the option. So that is what happened. Now, those are 3 very different scenarios and actually have all played out very differently, and I think a lot of it is to do with me and what I knew what to do and what I knew not to do after. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and kind of one of the first things, is throughout the surgery you are fitted with a catheter. Now, I am not going to try and explain what that is or how it works because I don't know, but basically you are fitted with a catheter because you are unable to get up and go to the toilet throughout your surgery, etc. So one of the things that I read for the first time when I had my first elective was ask them to take it out really quickly so you can get back on your feet. No. The medical advice I was given, it was that it had to stay in for at least 12 hours after surgery. So in my head I was like, right, that's fine, I'm gonna have it taken out 12 hours after. And it was just the worst thing I did. I really should have let myself just have at least 24 hours of not moving and not having to go physically to the toilet, because actually I was really sore after, and I underestimated how sore I would be. So this time round, 3rd time round, I was given the option after 12 hours. Now, JJ was born at 5 to 10 in the morning, so it was going to be on the night shift that they could take it out, and I said no, we'll do it first thing in the morning. And it just meant that overnight I didn't have to get up physically to go to the toilet, and I allowed myself to just rest and heal. It was probably the best thing I did. And then first thing, literally 5-6 o'clock in the morning the next morning, they took it out, and then I got up, and it just made such a massive difference, giving myself that time to really not move, not do any big movements, not get up, and not have the worry of throughout the night having to do that. And that made a huge difference. So I definitely recommend, where possible, especially if you've had your cesarean section early in the morning and they give you the option to have it taken out the same day, if you are staying overnight, maybe give yourself that option to just rest that little bit longer. One of the other things was pain relief. Now, I stayed in hospital, the first time I stayed in hospital for 3 or 4 nights, the second time was 8 nights, and this time was just 1, which is a massive difference. And again, I think because I had a more relaxed scheduled section this time, but also because I think my own, how I behaved, how I looked after myself and stuff after, made a massive difference about how quickly I went. Now, pain relief is massive, and at the hospital they came round, I think it was every 4 to 6 hours, and offered you pain meds. Now, one of the things that I didn't do was, on the first day I had him, by later on in the afternoon I kind of felt okay. So when they came around I was like, no, actually I feel okay, it's fine, I won't have any. and then a couple of hours after that I was in absolute agony. And my biggest tip is, if you can, keep on top of your pain relief as scheduled and as provided by your medical provider as much as you can, at least for the first 72 hours. Try and keep on top of it if you can. I stayed on my meds when I came home for probably another 3 to 5 days, so probably a week in total, and then I just slowly reduced them, and then just had a few paracetamols here and there if I felt in any agony. But it probably took about 7 or 8 days, and then I've been off them pretty much since the first week. Everyone is going to be different. There is no shame in having to take painkillers to manage the pain, but just try where you can to keep on top of it and not try and fight through it, because it is major surgery. And that is one of the things that I definitely learned this time around. One of the other things I did is, obviously I didn't get the catheter taken out, so I couldn't get out of bed to go to have a shower or anything. And what I did was packed a little pamper bag, and I had like a little sheet mask, which I think I've put in a video of what to pack for your hospital bag, which I'll put somewhere up here. A sheet mask, I took a flannel, and I just took a few things that could freshen up. You obviously can't get up and go to the shower, and it's just, you need to feel better, and I just wanted to feel fresh, I wanted to feel better. So I got a bowl of water, I got a nurse to get me a bowl of water and a flannel, and it's just warm water that she got from the bathroom, and I just gave myself a bit of a wash, put on deodorant, did my sheet mask, moisturised, and I could only literally do my top half of what I could do with my legs and stuff, but I felt so much better. I took the hospital gown off and I bought a nightie that just went over my head, and it was just one of the best things I did. Those sorts of things can make you psychologically and physically feel better, and I found that that made a massive difference. The first time around I didn't do stuff like that, and I just felt horrible and groggy and sweaty and just uncomfortable, and that made it massively worse. So I definitely recommend, if you can, take yourself a little pamper package or things that you can use that will just make you feel a little bit freshened and kind of ready to go. The other thing is pillows. Now, I love pillows in general, but I definitely think having enough pillows to support your back and to support yourself is just an absolute must. Obviously post-surgery in a hospital bed, it was great because I had the bed that went up and down. I don't have that at home, so I just made sure we had enough pillows that I could support my back, where I could sleep almost sitting up but still really comfortably. It also really helps if you have a nursing pillow. Now I have this massive like U-shaped one that I bought off eBay ages ago, and it was used for pregnancy pillow to sleep during pregnancy, but actually I've used it as a nursing pillow now, and I've used it, I always hook it around my back when I'm sitting either here or upstairs, and then you can wrap the kind of legs of the U around you. Brilliant. And I must recommend making sure you've got really supportive pillows so you can sleep, well, I was gonna say sleep, but as much as you can comfortably. If you can and you're able, also take that to the hospital with you if you just want some added comfort, but definitely making sure that you're comfortable in your sleep. Pillows are an absolute must. The other thing I did, which made a huge difference, and I did this a bit before, was plan ahead, and I did that a few ways. So I batch cooked quite a lot of food, so I did made ready meals for the family. I did things like lasagnas, pastas, enchiladas, things that I could just make up, stick in the freezer, and all I had to do this end was someone had to get them out, or I had to get them out and pop them in the oven. Huge difference, rather than trying to stand at the cooker after surgery, even if that's a week or a bit longer, trying to cook for everyone. Now you can do breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever, but preparing your meals makes a massive difference, especially if you've already got children at home, and you just want everyone to be able to have home cooked good food, but without you having to try and cook it or prep the food and do all that stuff, because you just want to be in a position to rest. So that was one of the best things I did. Also other little things, so making sure that I had a water bottle next to the bed. I had things that were within reach. You don't want to, especially if there's nobody around to support you at that moment, whether it's in hospital or at home, to have to call someone just to grab a bottle of water, get your phone charger, or anything that you need to hand, try and have already around you or in a position to be around you. So if that means getting a slightly different bedside table, or making sure you've got an extension lead, all of those things do beforehand, so you've kind of got them prepped and ready to go, to just relieve any pressure of movement or having having to get up and do quite a lot of things once you've had your surgery. Now, I talk about this all the time, and it was definitely in my hospital bag video, but big knickers are a must after a C-section, and they really do help with the recovery. And I say that because they will cover your scar and also your dressing. One of the things that you don't want to do is have small underwear or kind of hip underwear that then rub against your scar. It's not good for the healing of your scar, and actually so uncomfortable. So I definitely recommend the bigger the pants, the better. So your scar in general, kind of moving on to that, is the first time round I had Sophia, I did way too much, way too quickly, and actually my scar opened slightly and made it really sore. Now, here in the UK, midwives come over on day 5 and normally take your dressing off. Some do it at the hospital before, but for me, it's always been day 5. Second time round was different. I was in hospital for 8 days or 8 nights, so I had it dressed and changed and cleaned and stuff by the nurses at the hospital. This time round, because of the pandemic, we weren't getting any home visitors from our midwives, and I was also home for day 5, which meant that I had to take the dressing off myself with the help of my husband Trevor, which was very scary, and I had to care for my scar a lot more myself than have a nurse or a midwife do it. Now, one of the biggest things, and why I keep talking about supporting your back, doing little movements little and often, is because you don't want to tear at that scar. You don't want to make it any worse. The first time round, I literally only opened probably a centimetre, but that was so dangerous, and it could have been a lot worse, and I was very fortunate it was only that small. But it was just because I felt like Superwoman and I wanted to do everything, and I was up and about, and I was like, yeah, I feel fine. No, rest. You need to take your rest. Oh, especially for your scar this time around, I took the dressing off myself, cleaned the wound, and actually it was fine. The incision was fine, and then I used this. This is from my expert midwife, and it is Spritz for Bits. Now, naturally, it is normally for your lady parts after you've given birth vaginally. However, someone said to me, I actually read on a forum somewhere, and then someone else said that you can use it on your scar. So I did. So from day 5, once my dressing was off and I cleaned the wound, I left it, and then from day 6 onwards I spritzed this just across my scar, and I think it's made a massive difference to the healing personally. It's one of the things I found, even if it was psychological, it just didn't feel tingly or anything, but it felt clean, it felt like it was healing, and actually this scar has probably healed the quickest out of all of them and the neatest. Now, one of the other things with your scar and really helps to heal is letting it get some air. So what I would do is after the shower I would spray this on, and then I would lie on my bed completely flat, well, a little bit propped up, and I'd have to hold my stomach up because my stomach hangs over, and hold it up and just let my scar get a bit of air. And I'd only do that for like 10 minutes, but it'd make a massive difference. Obviously, if you do have any concerns about your scar, please ring your midwife straight away, because that's really important. After surgery, when I was in the hospital, is that your legs can get really itchy, and apparently it is a side effect from the anaesthetic. Loads of these products are from the What to Pack in Your Hospital Bag video, but this is from Mamma Mia, and it is, look, I've lost the lid for it because I used it so much, and it is the Lucky Legs cooling gel, and oh my gosh, it made such a massive difference. You have to put on like almost like flight socks, like the really tight sock type things, and they were so itchy and I was getting so stressed, and when I took them off I got Trevor to massage this into my legs, or you can do it yourself obviously if you're on your own, and it just tingles and cools your legs down, stops the itching, it makes them feel so nice, like an absolute win. It's also really good after if you've got any water retention, your legs are just a bit achy, then this is brilliant. I've also found a lot of people use it sole and feet towards the end of their pregnancy. It's really good for that too. So this for me was an absolute must-have. The other thing is doing little and often. So the first time you get up, you're gonna feel like a newborn deer, your legs are gonna be a bit wobbly, it feels really strange. Making sure that you've got someone on hand to support you. I just literally took the smallest steps and did little and often. So the first thing I did was went to the bathroom, came back, rested. Then I went back and had a shower, got dressed, came back, rested. And then I would just walk around to the other side of the bed every couple of hours. I just literally eased myself in. Now, I only had this time round probably about 10 hours to do that, because I had my catheter taken out about 5-6 in the morning, and we left the hospital about 6 in the evening. Yeah, about 6 in the evening. Throughout the day I literally just did little and often, but the biggest advice, and this is for when you're in the hospital, when you're moving around, when you're at home, is ask for help. Do not try and do it all yourself. So when I was in the hospital trying to move during the day, I asked a nurse if she had time, or a midwife on hand, to just help me get up. There was no point straining myself and making it 10 times worse, and they were so brilliant and so supportive. It's the same when you get home. Your partner, your family, your friends, whoever's here to help you, ask for help. Do not strain yourself. And it's really hard because I hate asking for help. I want to just get things done myself, but I knew from past experience when I had severe and I tried to do it all on my own, and I didn't want to ask for help because I felt like a burden or an inconvenience, how much worse my recovery was. And I obviously ripped my scar. I just had so many other issues, and it's just not worth it, and it's not worth putting yourself at risk. And also, you want to be healthy and happy and fit for your baby. Hopefully that helps, and there's a couple of tips on there that will really be helpful for you if you've had your surgery and you're recovering. They're things that I've done myself. They're things that have really helped, things that I've learned along the way, and I just wanted to share. If you do have any other questions, please do always hit me up, either comment below or just over here, pop me a message on any of those socials, Instagram, Facebook or Twitter, and hopefully I'll be able to help. But like I said, if you do need any support, have got any medical questions, please do ask your medical provider. They'll know you, they'll know your body, and they'll know your care, and they'll be best placed to advise. But hopefully there's some tips on here that really help. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.